We talk men's and women's basketball along with track and field and cross country on a jam-packed show. And we begin with women's basketball and freshman guard Kendall Wingler. Kendall, this team's 6-6, 5-3 in the OVC. A lot of new players, and it looks like you're really coming together as a unit right now. You put your perspective on it for me.
I do feel like we are really coming together. I know when we first started playing together, it was really shaky. You know, we wasn't used to playing with each other, and we were playing like really big top teams in the nation. But I think that really helped us for coming along in conference, especially with the chemistry of us. You know, everybody loves each other. Everybody hangs out with each other all the time. So I think, you know, with having such a large group of a freshman class that came in and having that chemistry with everybody, younger and older, that's really helping us in conference, you know, with having like a really decent record so far. So, and we still got a lot more games to play. So,
you averaged almost 31 points a game at Meade County High School your senior year. That led the state. Now you come to college where everybody is good. They all have a college scholarship. Your role's going to change a little bit. Talk to me about your personal adjustment from being the star, the go-to person, to being one of five on the court.
It's definitely a big adjustment. In high school, I was like the go-to, you know, for averaging like 31 points a game. In college here, it's definitely a big adjustment, but I know that, you know, I got brought here to score. You know, it's definitely, you know, something I'm really trying to just adjust to, really, with knowing what's good shots, what's bad shots, you know, good quality shots, you know, shot clock, definitely getting used to that. So it's just been like a really weird adjustment too, especially with everything that's going on with COVID and all this other good stuff. So it's just definitely been, you know, just like a really like a whirlwind for me, kind of. So just kind of being able to be like, okay, I know my role, you know, that's something I think everybody on the team is really just trying to get to know for themselves, is being like, okay, we're learning each other's game a lot. So it's definitely being able to just know each other's game and being like, okay, this is what I need to do to help the team win, or this is what I got to do to, you know, really bring my stuff to the table to help the team win. So
it's already tough enough when you leave home. Mom's got dinner ready when you get home, and, you know, somebody's your taxi driver to and from all the events. And now you're by yourself on campus, and then we throw in this online learning. And how tough has the adjustment been? Because you've had to double adjust compared to most freshmen this season.
Yeah, it's definitely been, you know, harder, I would say. You know, the spring semester started today, so it's just kind of been, you know, everybody's trying to get adjusted now, you know, so everybody's practice times are adjusting, you know, everything is just kind of like, you know, now we're back on the schedule, because, you know, before, whenever we were on our winter break, it was kind of like we just had to worry about games, you know, games and practice, and, you know, just getting ready for that. Now you had school on top of it. You know, online learning is, you know, for me, it's like harder trying to keep up with everything, you know, making sure you have everything turned in and you're on your Zooms and all that other good stuff. So just being able to, I think, just have like a good layout and have a schedule, like a routine every day that you do, I think is something that has definitely changed from high school to college, because you're not really on any sort of routine. Everything's just kind of thrown at you at random times. So I think that's kind of been like a really difficult adjustment, but, you know, I'm getting there.
You wear number 55. Your head coach, Sam Williams, wore that number when she played at Auburn. Any reason why that's your number?
Not well, Jason Williams, when he played in the NBA. But I used to always wear, when I was younger, 18 or 19. It was never 55. And then I don't know why, but it just kind of came up, and I was like, you know, I'm just going to wear 55. You know, I was just kind of like, for me, that was an odd number for a guard to wear. You know, you never really usually see a guard wearing like 55. Usually it's kind of always like lower numbers and other good stuff. So I was like, you know, I think I'll do that. So that's kind of been the number, and that's kind of like, so sometimes that's just what people call me, is by my number. So instead of just my name, everybody's like, oh, that's 55. So I think that's just kind of cool. So, but yeah.
I love it. It's old school. I like it, a guard wearing 55. You played soccer in high school as well. You need footwork. You need to play off the ball. It gives you stamina. So how do you see a little bit of soccer helping your basketball game?
Soccer has definitely helped me with basketball. Soccer, you're always going. Soccer, there is no stop other than halftime, and it's long, 45 minutes. So So I think soccer, the footwork has definitely helped. Speed, agility-wise, I think has, definitely helped. And just being able to just, I think read a lot of different things as well. In soccer, you got to definitely read, the backline defense and all that other good stuff. So in basketball, I think that's definitely helped. The speed definitely, I think, has definitely helped me in being able to get up and down the floor fast, being able to compete with a lot of these teams that are quick and, have, a lot faster guards. So I think that's definitely helped and transferred over.
As we said at the top, 5-3 in the OVC, but you know what's ahead this week. Southeast Missouri is on the schedule on Saturday. They are the team that won the OVC tournament last year, and Tennessee Martin has kind of been the standard bearer along with Belmont of late in the OVC. So this is going to be a big challenge on your home court here this week.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a challenge. We're getting prepared this week, practice today and tomorrow, and shoot-arounds, we're definitely getting prepared and mentally prepared for these games, being locked in with each other, being able to just come out on the floor and play as a team together. This is definitely not going to be any cakewalk this week. This is going to be, two tough teams and two really great teams in our conference that we're going to have to compete with, and we're going to have to really come out, focused and locked in and, just come out and show what we got. So.
All right. It's great to have you as a colonel and great to meet you here on the show, and good luck the rest of the year.
All right. Thank you so much for having me.
All right, that's Kendall Wingler, a member of the EKU women's basketball team. Here's what's ahead for the Colonels. A 5 o'clock tip on Thursday against the Skyhawks of Tennessee Martin. And then Southeast Missouri, that's a 1 o'clock tip on Saturday. The call will be at 92.5 FM, 1340 AM. Also on EKUsports.com, the video stream on ESPN Plus as well. When we come back, we'll turn our attention to track and field and cross country as the head coach joins us next here on Inside EKU Sports.
Hey, that comes to $1.45.
I'm sorry?
Oh yeah, for the cookie. The books are free.
For everybody?
For all undergraduate students. We call it EKU Book Smart.
Let's make that 2 cookies.
On campus, online, delivery, or pickup at EKU. The books are on us.
We're going to be joined now by Cory Erdmann, the head track and field and cross country coach at EKU. Cory, it's been a strange year for everybody, but especially cross country moved from the fall to the spring, indoors in the OVC not being run, but the NCAA is, and then everything full bore for outdoor track, we hope. So how have you kept the young ladies and the young men motivated to be runners as we finally gear up into competition?
Well, Greg, to be real honest, we have a very motivated group. We have a group that wants to be good, and that is something that's exciting to see. Our distance runners, it's been a little bit of a challenge because they're always used to a fall cross-country season. But they have adjusted and sort of rolled with the punches, if you will. The track young men and women who are on our track team, it's disappointing not to have an OVC indoor championship, but we are running some indoor competitions. And then we'll have a full outdoor season, we hope and anticipate. So it's been challenging, but they want to be good and they want to be have success. So they've continued to work hard. Our kids have as we've gone on through the year.
The first meet indoor was over in Lexington last Friday, and you had a couple of young ladies that did really well in the sprints. Tell me about them.
Yeah, it's very exciting to see. Kayla Smith, who's a freshman, ran what is I think the 5th fastest time in EKU history in the 60-meter dash. Quantasia Perry ran, I think, the 3rd fastest time in the 200-meter dash. They both ran times. I think the last time we had somebody sort of on their level in the sprints group was in 2010. So it's been quite some time, and they had success against a really high level of competition. The 5 teams that were there, or the 4, including us, were Cincinnati, Louisville, Kentucky, who were all members really of what would be the Power 5 or the group of 6 right after that. And then North Carolina A&T, which is really a sprints power. So they competed very well against a high level competition. Both of them have very bright futures for us. We also had some other good performances. We had a senior thrower, Hannah Cook, who set a personal best in the weight throw, and some things like that.
Ahmad Jaziri is a new runner for you, and he won the 3,000-meter run, sixth fastest time in the NCAA at that point. Tell us about his effort and how he will come into your track and field and cross-country programs.
Yeah, Ahmed is a great athlete. We were lucky to recruit him and to get him. He is from Tunisia originally. He joined us in August, and he's really a very good steeplechaser, has Olympic aspirations, which I think are realistic for him. He's very talented. He will mesh well with our group, which will include, starting this week, James Segura will be back. We have some new guys, a guy named Charles Kipchumba who will join us. And then Alex Leishan, Keaton Thornsbury, Pedro, Jackson Sedal, who's running very well, and Juan Tapias, and a couple of others. So we're very excited, but we think we have a good group on the men's side and on the women's side. So it'll be an interesting thing to see as we open up this weekend. I thought on the women's side, Lou Traub ran very well at UK.
You mentioned open up this week, and there'll be a dual meet out at the Arlington golf course between EKU and Morehead State. You will have an OVC cross-country championship, and then hopefully on to the NCAA regionals and even the national championship run. So there's a lot to look forward to, not in the fall now, but in the spring for these cross-country programs.
Yeah, that's absolutely correct. It's a little bit different because of the way they're going to select teams to the national championship. Our sport is the hardest to make a national championship in. We only take 31 teams. This year it'll be by committee as opposed to be by regional racing, which will make things challenging. But for us, we're going to Florida State on February 5th. We have to run well there. And if we do, we put ourselves in a good position to then come back, hopefully, and compete for an OVC championship and a spot in the NCAA.
So no regionals then, just straight to the nationals then.
Correct. It's a committee selection. They are in theory weighting conference results, and then how you do in against other teams in the regular season. At Florida State, will face the teams that were second, third, fourth in the ACC, I think, as well as some other national teams. So that will give us an opportunity to make our case.
And finally, you come to us via the video link from the new Olympic Training Center, which was the old rec center, and that has certainly helped the track and field and cross-country programs to have that.
Absolutely. One of the things that we had always sort of battled in recruiting was the fact that our facilities weren't very nice, from our locker rooms to our offices. The Olympic Sports Training Center coming to us, and us having an opportunity to be housed here with our locker rooms, our offices, really our training base, has been fantastic. And it's already you're starting to see differences. For years, we lost a lot of kids from Kentucky who we were recruiting, who really turned away just basically because of sort of they see the facilities and it wasn't all that appealing. We've already added some for this coming fall, and we're seeing really positive effects of being able to draw students and student athletes here to EKU, and this upgrade in facility has meant a lot, as well as the upgrade in the track. We've had the track resurfaced, which benefits obviously our program and frankly the Eastern Kentucky University community as a whole.
Okay, thanks, Cory. Good catching up with you. Good luck in what will be a very busy season for you and your teams.
Thank you very much, and have a good day.
All right, that's Cory Erdmann. When we come back here on Inside EKU Sports, we'll turn to men's basketball. Michael Moreno, a sophomore forward, joins us next. EKU 12-2 on the court, and that is the best start to a season in 74 years, currently on a 7-game winning streak, which is the longest in 7 years, and one of the big reasons among many is Michael Moreno, the sophomore forward. Mike, you hit the big shot to send it to overtime. Your high school teammate of the past, Cooper Robb, gave you the ball. Take me through that one as EKU got to overtime last Saturday against EIU and eventually won in OT.
Coach, called the timeout with 9 seconds left and drew up a play, obviously to get a 3. And originally, we ran the elevator screen to try to get Cooper open, and he told Cooper in the huddle, just like Cooper said in his interview, if you can get your feet set, let it go. But they switched out, and I bounced out to try to get a quick pass. And as soon as they matched up, I set a slip screen. Coach said, slip the screen, try to get open, and Cooper, if you're not open, swing it. And obviously late game situations, a lot of times they'll botch, screen coverages, teams will, just because it's, adrenaline's pumping. You don't want to mess up, and you want to, just guard the ball, and the ball scores everything. But you also have to lock in on the other 4 players as well. And they botched the ball screen coverage, and it freed me up, and I caught it and just let it go in rhythm.
You had a slow start like a lot of guys from 3, but you have hit 12 of your last 26 over the last 5 games, and it seems like you and Cooper Robb and Wendell and everybody else beginning to hit the threes, and of course Trey is knocking him down as well.
I think that's a testament to our individual improvement every day. Coach splits us off guards, bigs, and we do, individuals throughout the week. So I think coaches put an emphasis on getting rhythm threes. We've had a talk before about, there's people who are shot takers and there's shot makers, and then there's people who take, good threes, and then they take the right threes. And I think we're starting to focus on taking the right threes rather than taking all the, the free threes we can get. So, getting those rhythm shots and seeing them go down builds confidence for everybody. I think seeing Cooper hit a couple against, Tennessee Tech was huge. Wendell having his outbreak at Austin Peay, I think everybody's had their confidence. Kurt Lewis hitting the couple against Jacksonville State. I think everybody's confidence is raising, shooting the ball.
Eastern Kentucky loses first-team all-conference player Jamaro Brown with the shoulder injury, so everybody's had to step up. But that's the danger of this team that can go 11 or 12 deep, and you never know who's going to be the leading scorer. You had a 29-point game. Trey King had a 29-point game. Wendell had that 30-point game, as you mentioned, at Austin Peay. So this is a team that you can't focus on 1 or 2 players.
I feel like we definitely are a team that's tough to scout because I feel like you have to put an emphasis on each player's game. But like you just said, we're all capable of having that scoring outbreak. So I feel like teams have to just guard up, essentially. Each guy has a task in front of them because, typically in mid-major leagues, you're finding teams that'll have, the real good ones will have 3 players, 3 real dangerous players at best. And I feel like we're just extremely dangerous because we have options, and it's not necessarily about trying to run the ball through Trey all night or set ball screens for Wendell all night. As last year we had Jamaro, we had to go to him a lot in the conference season. So I feel like this year we all have grown a lot, especially through the season, but even the returners have all found their roles, but have also found themselves capable of any outbreak.
In a season like no other, I mean, you haven't been in school for almost a month and a half now. Now school comes back. Some of the students come back on campus. Now you have to deal with either in-class or virtual classes plus basketball. How much of a mental strain and a strain has it been on this team and you personally, and how do you adjust back to a different way to deal with the rest of the season, which the schedule is going to be tough down the stretch?
The first semester I struggled a bit just because I'm a face-to-face person. I'm an in-person learner. I feel like I can ask questions face-to-face. It's kind of harder to get my point across in email. And as far as my team, I feel like just the necessity of having to go to class kind of builds that discipline and trying to push anybody online. Because I feel like student, athlete or not, most students will struggle with finding that motivation with online learning. And I feel like it's good to be pushed in a different way. But we just had to get through the semester. We got through it. We get to the break. And I feel like everybody was very relaxed, stressed. You saw the weight just be lifted off people's shoulders. I feel like that mental break helped us a lot from not having to worry about any schoolwork or anything, because it was like a cram at the end, just because we started traveling. And once season starts, it's really hard to keep up with your schoolwork the same way you were before you started traveling. So I feel like that mental strain that was lifted helped us a lot. But going back into it, I feel like we're just going to have to be more mature and lock in. And the conference is a bear, especially traveling. And with COVID being around, it's obviously put us at a disadvantage. So I think the semester is going to be a challenge for all of us, but I think we can handle it.
You're now a sophomore. How do you feel different as a college student and as a basketball player than you did your freshman year?
As a college student, I feel like it's a bit different because I'm starting to get into more of my, major specified classes. The prerequisites that you take as a freshman, it just kind of introduces you to what the workload of a college class is going to look like. But now with major specific classes, I have to, really focus on learning specific material, and whether it be management classes, marketing classes, anything. And
what is your major, Mike? Your major?
I'm a general business major right now. So right now I'm getting into the management, marketing, international business class portions. But as a basketball player, I feel different just because I understand what it takes to win at the college level now. And it takes a lot. The conditioning, all season training, in season, being focused, being an everyday guy in practice. There's certain little things you have to do to be able to win. And as coach always says, winning doesn't happen on the day of. It always happens in the days leading up to. And I feel like preparation is a much bigger part in college than it was in high school.
Well, you got 2 games at home this week, and I know you got to take care of that home floor. So far, so good. But you can't look at standings now, can you? Every game's a challenge. Tennessee Tech showed us that.
Yes, absolutely. I feel like this conference top to bottom will be competitive most nights, unless a team splits up. But everybody's coming to win. And I think that the special thing about our conference is only 8 teams make it out of the 12. So those 4 teams at the bottom are fighting for their life every night. And then you've got, 2-3 teams that could be switched out every night from the bottom. So I feel like this conference is, night in, night out of battle, and every team's going to give you their best shot, regardless if they're, first on the standings board or they're last on the standings board. So I think it's, really important that we keep our mental attitude and mental preparation high.
Sounds good. Always good to talk to you. Good luck in the classroom and on the court the rest of the way.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, that's Michael Moreno, a basketball player with EKU. And here's what's ahead for the Colonels this week. At home against Tennessee Martin, 8 o'clock Thursday, and then a 4 o'clock tip on Saturday against Southeast Missouri State. We'll have both of the games at 100.7 FM. They'll be streamed at EKUSports.com and on the TuneIn app and the video stream at ESPN+. You can always keep up with EKU Athletics by liking and following these social media pages. And until next week, as always, go Big E.